and we're gonna do well something a little different. First of all, we gotta say hello to my Lumina and Lightning. Why are they so close? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I got something real interesting here. I'm gonna go. I bought some meat that is cheaper, ooh baby, than dog food. Ooh baby, that's a little. Uh, these two are gonna be for them. This one's for me, and it's Angus. Ooh baby, I'm gonna lower this temperature to and about half. Now this is the price I paid for these two right here. Anybody see this? It's like remarkable cut down price. It's like $4.96 from like close to $17. And yeah, fries. Check out for myself. We're gonna close that up and turn that down because this is alive, and I just want to show you guys some stuff here. That's my Volkswagen 1970. Dad bought it in 1970. I rebuilt it twice and definitely has some work to do, like wheels and a generator. Now what we got here is my birds, who I feed quite well. That's the healthy portion that I do, and you can see that I buy 50 pounds considerably once a week. And these guys here, they used to eat birds. Where are my birds? Ah, that's a little guy there. They'll be coming down. I give them a call. Woo, 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 woo. And they come down like nobody's business. Anyway, I'm going to put some. Yeah, there they are. I usually put some down right here. And they'll be flocking in. Yes, they're not as timid as you think. I'm going to put some. This is a birdhouse that I had up, and they knocked it down. They tried to get into it. So let's see what we got here. Come on, birdies. Time to eat. And these are my pigeons that really enjoy eating at sundown. Ah, there's some doves, ring-necked doves too. There you go, guys. And we throw some over there. And my Lightning to the left, Lumina to the right. They used to eat my pigeons. And then I trained them not to eat pigeons. Yes, you can train dogs not to eat pigeons, by the way, because they're good dogs. Yes, they are. Okay, let's put some more out for the rest of the gang. I don't have time today, so I'm dumping it just like that. Let's see how long it takes for my other. Look at all these guys up there. See all these guys? They're gonna come down when I give them the call. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, they know the call. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, most of them do. Let's see what we got. Oh my God! Look at all these pigeons. And down at the hind end there, they're a little shy. Those little ring-necked doves. Okay, so this is alive today, and see how my dogs are so well behaved. Lightning's eating this chewy, Lumina's eating her bone, and I'm just gonna go. Excuse my messy yard right now. I will be cleaning this up. 70 bug. I got to get on the road again. It's just one of these cars that keeps on going. And oh yeah, look at them. You know why they're here? Because they're gonna get chewy as soon as they sit down. Yeah. All right, Lumina. Lumina gets hers. Lightning. You will get yours. All right, let's turn it around. As soon as I find the turnaround button. Here we go. Welcome everyone. So this is Sunday. Excuse me. This is Sunday, and I I got a request. Anybody got a spiritual question for Uncle Martin? I'm pretty adept in questions like that because I've studied 8 major religions. I was an altar boy, and excuse me, it was back in the day. Excuse me, back in the day when it was Latin, and Latin is a higher vibration than English. Now, I didn't know that scientific proof at the time. I just told Father, I said, Father, you're changing, because I knew when to ring the bell, pour the wine. I had to read the whole little book of what to do, and I understood Latin. Yeah, I got to get back to that. They're saying it's a dead language. Needless to say, what we have is on a spectra scale of going right to left, left being lower, right going higher. And we have found that Latin is higher than English. English is lower. I didn't know that. I just said, Father, this is crummy. Not that I just learned all the Latin, but we're changing this. We're changing it into English now. And he said, sorry, my son, it's just the way it is. And also, back, I believe it was 65, and 1965, and they also changed the altar around. See, the altar used to be facing away from the people, and then they changed it around towards facing the people. And I said, Father, that doesn't sound possible either, because we're supposed to be looking at the Eucharist and, giving praise here, and you're changing that around. He says, well, it's just it's what the bishops decided back then. It wasn't the Pope, it was the bishops. And they changed the law because they said, well, first of all, people didn't understand what they're talking about. And that was kind of, the second thing was, the altar was not facing the people, so it was disrespectful. I said, I don't know about that, Father, but it just doesn't sound right. So later on, I looked into what the spectrum was, going this way or that way. This way would be more of a vibration, a higher vibration. And when you go that way, the highest vibration that we know of right now is basically Sanskrit. And Sanskrit has the highest vibration out of all of our language. But Sanskrit is a dead language. Go figure. And from there, I could go through the whole spectrum, but I just can tell you right now, English is lower than Latin. So why did they change it? I got my hypothesis, but I won't go into that. So anybody out there that would like to ask some spiritual question, push comments, and I got something for you. I'm seeing on the Sunday that, I got to put my glasses on, my 100 proof glasses. There we go. Hey, Catalina. Hey, hi to you too. You got a spiritual question for Uncle Martin? It's Sunday. That's why I'm doing this. And, I didn't get to church because I had to work today. In fact, I've had to work a lot on Sundays. I'm trying to get away from that. But right now, I have to make my bill. Got to make up some sacrifices sometimes. That's just the way it is. So, if we go back to Atlantis, might as well go back a little bit. It's about 10 to 300,000 years ago. They had 3 cataclysms. Atlantis had 3 cataclysms. The last one, as Plato said, it went down into the sea. Now, the reasoning behind this was they pretty much, they had an understanding of things that we're just coming in to understand right now, like crystals. I'm going to do one on crystals that I found to be very interesting. I got some big crystals, like some big white crystals, and I read somewhere that if you move them together in the dark, they start to light up. And son of a gun, these did. I'm going to do it at night so everybody can see these these big crystals that I have that are going to be lighting up. So Atlantis knew about crystals, and they did a lot of things with them. Oh, okay. Uh, okay. Catalina Terra. That's a long name, Catalina. How long have you been out here for? Well, let's see. I've been back and forth all my life. I went to 4 different fourth grades. I went to New Jersey, out here, New Jersey, and out here. So that's 4 in just 1 year. But I've been back and forth all my life. And right now, I have been out here since, minus the vacation. I went out there in New Jersey in '92. But right now, I would say I was a brakeman on the railroad. So what I did was, when I heard Dad had Parkinson's, bro calls me and says, Dad can't even feed himself. What? He can't feed himself. So I dropped everything and I drove out here in 52 hours in my 67 Camaro in 52 hours. It's continuous time. That'd be another story. But your question to me is, how long have I been out here? Well, since 75, when I heard the news, I had to, because I wasn't going to leave my dad be another story about my dad, because he had been sick and then he wasn't again. That would be another story. So I did go back to see Nanny in '92, and my Uncle Lou and all my friends. So I've been out here a lot. It's always been at home. Arizona's always been a home to me. I think because past lives I lived with Indians, and I did live with Indians literally in '76, Desert Hot Springs, and I lived with some Indians as well as some interesting people at these spiritual Indian hot springs. The Indians were pretty much Yaqui and a couple other different tribes. But a Yaqui shaman medicine man, I've done one. If you go to my lives, like this is live, and you scroll down to Yaqui shaman medicine man, is that not a story? Yes, it is. Also the cave, I got one on the cave. A lot of different experiences when you go out into the desert for a year and you just are barefoot. You got a blanket, you got a staff. And that's what I did for a whole year because I was prepared for it. That'd be another story. So what we have is, let's see, Philipek, hey, what'd you do to have your message retracted? This is a family channel. So, how long have I been out here? We're only at like 98 degrees today, or maybe 102. And it's been the coolest summer that I can remember in a long time. Anybody been out in Arizona, you know what I'm talking about. Although I Googled the other day and I said, there's 3 years in a row that we had 118 on the first day, 122 on the end of the week, and Google says that there was no such thing. Well, really? I was out working in that temperature for 3 years. And so we're having our history tainted before it's even 10 years of experience with this stuff. So I'm wondering if it's been tainted in the last 10 years, what has been going on 2,000 years ago or more? The history that we've been told is a lie. And I've gone into that too because when I went to 4 different fourth grades, I got a live on that. It's a B, a B, a B plus, and a D minus. On the same test of Christopher Columbus? How could that be? Because they put things in books that are not, I'll just say it's misinformation. So why would they do that? Because knowledge is power. And the more knowledge you have, I guess the more power you have. So maybe somebody doesn't want us to have knowledge and power. Going back to Atlantis now, that's what they did have. They had knowledge and they had power. But what they didn't have was love. See, love is the strongest energy in the universe. It just is. And when you realize that, you start assessing things differently. When you look at people, you don't judge them by their exterior eyes. What happens is that recognition starts to glow. The eyes get brighter. You either realize or don't, that's fine. But it's something to put on the back shelf. Okay, MB11Z3Z. What is this about? This is about Sunday. Happy Sunday. If you got any religious question for me, any religious question that you've been really thinking about, give me a shot. I've studied all 8 major religions. And again, I'll repeat myself, I was an altar boy. No negative stories. MV11Z3Z. Hello to you too. And anybody else is watching Uncle Martin that does not want to show their name or their face on here, that's fine. Welcome. So, Atlantis went down because they had knowledge and power, and they didn't have the love flame that was necessary to keep them afloat. That's why the third time, they had 3 cataclysms. The third time, they went down like a rock, which is basically coming up since 1962. And that was by Edgar Cayce. He predicted this back in the 40s, that we would have Atlantis coming back up. And if you ever checked out Bimini, Bimini has big old rocks that they're saying is a roadway. Other people are saying, it just fell in that way. Yeah, big square rocks all aligned going in a direction. Just happened to be nature that did that. That's what somebody's saying. Atlantis went down pretty quick on the third time, but it took two times prior to give the people a wake up. And that's what I'm talking about. Every civilization that's ever been here on this planet has had a wake up call. And if you look around now, we've got more earthquakes, more volcanic action under the water as well as above the water. And this is Mother Nature coming around and saying, we've got a lot of knowledge and power right now, and you better start having more love, more of a love flame, more love, light, and feeling of kindness and betterment for your mankind. And whenever the civilizations in the past have not listened to this, we get a big spanking by Mother Nature. We get tsunamis. There's been tsunamis a mile high. Yeah, super tsunamis. And we really haven't seen any of those yet, by God's grace. But if we keep on going down the path we are, we might be getting some, pretty big spanking. So, all I can say is there's somebody out there that wants to darken the sky. And that's not going to be a problem here if we have more volcanic action that we're having. If you remember a few years back, there was some volcanic activity going on that stopped planes from flying. So we could have a blackout in the sky to where we don't see the sun. So why would anybody want to block out the sun? That'd be a big question. The global warming. Yeah. Well, that's up for grabs for, I guess, at this point. So anybody out there that is still watching Uncle Martin, I want you to give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. I don't care which one. I am concerned. And if you wish to, know when Uncle Martin's going live, or I do a short or a regular video, you might want to smash that subscribe button. And if you do have something to subscribe to, Uncle Martin will subscribe to you. And that is the way we roll here in Arizona. Hey, MB11, you're saying hi. And I still say hi back. So, nobody's got a question for Uncle Martin on anything spiritual? Nobody? Nobody out there? Nobody? I got one more little short story for you. Since it is Sunday, it was in it was my first or second grade. It must have been. It was in Flagstaff, Arizona. So I went to kindergarten up there, first grade, second grade, and third grade in Flagstaff, Arizona, and it was first grade, second grade, third grade was Catholic school. So they fed me a lot of stuff from the Bible that I remember quite well. Now, there was this one nun that said to me personally, because she says, she was telling the whole class, pray for the poor souls. Pray for the poor souls. And these are the poor souls that aren't going to heaven or limbo. They're going the other way down to the fiery furnace. She says, pray for poor souls. So I said, that sounds positive to me. So we were always praying for the poor souls. And then at one time, the nun comes up to me and says, now I don't know if she was a man hater, or she just had her different views, but she said, you do not have to pray to Jesus. I said, oh, really? She says, that's right. Because Jesus is too busy to listen to your prayer. Oh, really? She says, yes, you pray to Mother Mary. Oh, okay. So I prayed to Mother Mary, and every time I have in my lifetime, I got what I needed really quickly. So I can't spite her for that one. But I do point out this possibility for you to look at this possibility that she was saying Jesus was too busy to bother with you. Go to Mother Mary. I held that for many years until finally I realized she was limiting. She was giving me misinformation. If you look at spiritual beings that have attained the attainment of Mother Mary and Jesus, they can be anywhere. Archangel Michael, 7 archangels, go into a lot of that stuff, but they can be multiple places. They're not in one place at a time, they're in multiple places. So she was feeding me at a very inexperienced time of my life, to where if it wasn't hatred, it was definitely mild dislike toward Jesus. This happens to probably a lot of people. That's why I'm saying Jesus is definitely a go-to guy. And I heard just today at work, somebody said, Jesus is coming, he's coming. No, Jesus is already here, man. He's in your heart, you're in your mind, he's here, all right? We limit ourselves every day. How old are you? I'm not old. I got more experience. A lot of you kids out there have less experience. But when you get to my experience, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Don't put a circle around, don't put a gate around yourself to limit yourself of how old you are, because there is something behind that. What our thoughts think will come true. So if you keep saying how old you are, by the time you get to my experience, you will look like you probably don't have less experience. That's all I'm going to say about that. We just limit ourselves. And if we were born to where we had less people around us limiting us, we would be in a different situation right now. So, once again, anybody out there still with Uncle Martin, thumbs up, thumbs down, that'd be great. Subscribe, that'd even be better, and I'll subscribe to you. That's how we work it in the West. So, until we see each other again, shouldn't be too far off. You be well. God victory on this Sunday. Ooh.